You're listening to the Casual Swinger Podcast. As your hosts, we need to warn you that the material you're about to hear may be sexual or explicit in nature. This podcast is intended for an adult audience. Now, we don't expect you to act like adults. What's the fun in that?
We're a married couple living in Florida with over 13 years of experience in the lifestyle, and we take almost nothing seriously. Casual Swinger is a variety show, meaning we'll cover everything from music to events, travel, and even the occasional hilarious screw-up. Our show is about entertainment. We're not licensed professionals.
At anything.
And our stories, commentary, and guidance should not be confused with the opinions of a licensed professional.
Now that you know, let's take those pants off and get comfy. Welcome back to another episode of Casual Swinger. I'm your co-host, Mallory.
I'm just going to sit here.
Introduce yourself, fool.
Oh, hi.
Oh.
I'm Mickey.
Hi, Mickey.
I'm Eeyore.
Yeah, a little bit. Nice to see you again. It's been a while. I've missed you.
It's been a while since we've been in these chairs.
Yeah, I know.
I don't really think that we expected to take the little hiatus we did, but we got back from our trip and we needed to reset. We needed to calm down a little bit and
recover.
We've been so busy leading up to the trip and meeting new people, and then the trip was just crazy town.
Yeah, man. And we'll get into that a little bit later. So we titled this episode 13 of season 3, Meet the New Boss.
Yeah, another song title episode. Why
I
not?
love it. And who is that by?
Who's that by? Really?
No. Come on, I'm bunny.
It's the Who.
I know. That's
cute.
why I said, see? Told you.
Who's that by? I got it. All right. I'm a little slow. I'm Eeyore. I already told you. I'm in a bad mood today.
I'm sorry you're in a bad mood.
It's all right. But it's true. But yes, we did interview with Dermot Delucry for this episode, and we got to sit down. We were actually the first people to sit down. This was his first day at the resort.
Literally, day one.
So we were the first podcast, the first anybody to interview Dermot, which I think was really cool. But we kind of sat on it. We didn't release this, and I think it was important for us. And of course, we needed the reset, but we got home and just the world was going COVID crazy.
Everything was going crazy. I mean, the temperature of the climate post-election, COVID, and then, shit in our personal lives. It was a lot to take in, and it was so shocking to the system when we got back that we had to take that step back, and we thought it was the right decision, once again, to pull back and go, we're not going to do this just yet. It doesn't feel right just yet.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is we didn't want to really come across like we were celebrating that we were at Hedo when everybody else is stuck at home.
Exactly.
But it was Dermot's first day, and he has a lot to bring and a lot to offer, and I think a lot of people want to know who he is and who they're going to be dealing with, whether you're a group leader listening to the show or somebody that just goes to Hedo as a customer, a guest rather. But I think that everybody's going to benefit a little bit from hearing some of the unique things about this guy. And Kevin Levy, who was the prior GM at Hedonism, really, I mean, he was long-term, long tenure. The staff knew him very well and knew how to work with him. So I think everybody wants to know more about this guy and how they're going to be able to work with him and what he's going to bring that's different than the previous GM.
Oh, absolutely. And Kevin literally grew up at Hedo. I mean, he had been there so long. And so when the old guard and it changed to the new guard, what I really loved about Dermot is upon our first meeting, he's very warm, very open, and very accessible.
Oh, very.
And
you see him all over the resort. He's everywhere.
I feel like some of the culture is going to change for the better, which it's already a fantastic culture when you go there and the staff is just absolutely amazing. But I think it's going to change some things for them in a good way.
Yep, I think so too. And I think that his experience in history and 5 stars like the Mandarin Oriental, for example, which is a legendary hotel, being a manager at that hotel and then coming to Hedo, which, obviously Hedo's not going to be a 5-star. It was something I was concerned about. Like, are you going to turn this place into a 5-star with 5-star prices? And his answer is in the interview. I'm not going to give it to you right now, but that was something I was really concerned about as a guest is, it's already, I mean, one of the most common things we hear from our listeners who go, hey, we really want to go to Hedo with you, but holy shit, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it isn't if you look at everything you get, but, if you're not a drinker, then it's not as valuable. If you're not a scuba diver, it's not as valuable. There's things that deteriorate that value.
Sure.
And if you're going to a resort that's already expensive and find out they're going to raise the prices to become a 5-star, that would be terrifying. So
No, those are excellent points. And I'm going to give a little spoiler away because this just made me laugh every time like we go back and re-listen to the interview, is that he apologizes for not being a swinger.
I know, right?
It seems to be a running thing.
Why does everybody apologize to us for not being a swinger? It happened on Consenting Adults, and it's happened so many. They're like, you just make it seem so normal. Oh, the alabaster scrotum.
Yeah.
He was like, I feel like I should apologize for not being a swinger. People keep doing it.
I don't know, but I hope it's a positive thing where we're taking the taboo and we are normalizing it. Like that's how I want to feel. I would really hate to think that we're putting the message out that there's something wrong with you because you like monogamy.
Right? Like, you suck.
You're weird.
Boring. Well, maybe we're just the Ward and June Cleaver of the lifestyle, where everybody's like, "Oh, well, you guys are so normal."
Hey, that's okay.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind that.
I was in the garage. I busted every knuckle this weekend working on stuff in the garage. So I was doing a lot of cussing. That's what normal guys do. Like Ward Cleaver, he cusses in the garage.
Really?
Drinks and.
They just cut that out of the episodes?
Yeah, he drinks to excess and screams at machinery in the garage.
Right on.
I've decided that's what happens.
Okay, I'll play your silly game.
Yeah, well, anyway.
Well, June's masturbating in the kitchen between, meals.
She's riding on the dryer. No, it's the washer and the spin cycle. That's what it is.
Forgot about that.
Right. Anyway, so yeah, we have been quiet lately, guys. We came back from our trip and just needed to reset. We'd been really busy, had gone on a bunch of dates and hung out with people, and we just kind of told everybody, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we had a lot of personal stuff going on. Let's be really fucking transparent here. Holidays are hard for you and I, emotionally and mentally, right? We've had a lot of loss over the years, and it's just, it's tough, right? And I'm over here overcompensating. It literally looks like Christmas vomited in our house.
Our house.
That's all I've done is decorate.
Our house looks like Macy's is like, hey, we got a bunch of extra shit. Let's just hang it all in your house. We have how many 6 fucking Christmas trees?
Well, you say that and people are going to think I have like 6 12-foot trees in our house, and I don't. I mean, some of them are smaller, but we do have quite a few.
One of them is legitimately Charlie Brown's Christmas tree.
It is. It's like this little branch with one little ornament. It's adorable. I love Charlie Brown. You're my Charlie Brown.
Oh, I'm definitely Charlie Brown.
I love you.
Anyway.
But
hey,
yeah,
let's talk about casual toys for a minute, because we got some thanks we got to give people.
A hell of a lot of thanks.
Yeah, we really do.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of people purchasing on the site. We've sold the hoe bags, which I'm so excited for those because I really put my heart and soul into them, and
you did.
I love it when we indirectly give people orgasms. Like it feeds part of my soul.
Oh no! Every time we hand out, when we go to the resorts or whatever, and we give out vibrators, we're like, here, I'm responsible for your next orgasm.
Yeah, and we've been talking to a lot of people and giving advice or at least recommendations or helping them kind of sort out what they think is best, and in and of itself, that's a lot of fun to do as well.
It is. I really love helping people, and they do reach out right there on casualtoys.com. In the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little chat bubble, and that goes more or less directly to our cell phones. Mm-hmm. And we're able to give you guys some guidance and some direction on what you're looking for, whether it's a gift or whether it's something for yourself. But the thing I really want to thank people for is just the support, the shares from our fellow content creators.
That's true. Yeah.
And just Double Date Nation has had a Casual Toys ad running at the top of it for like 4 months now. Those guys are amazing. We don't pay them a dime. Our friend Mike at ASN Magazine has been promoting Casual Toys as well, and Casual Swinger as well. This year has been a banner year for Casual Swinger and Casual Toys. We've had so much growth. We've had so many new people talking to us, following us on Twitter, following us on Instagram. But Casual Toys has just grown. I think the number was 1,200% over last year.
That's amazing. And now, granted, we're never going to retire off of this because it is something fun that we love doing, right? And we don't monetize the podcast. It's just this is what we do to try to make sure we can continue to record and support that.
Yeah, it's still lost money. I do need to say that we still lost money.
100%. 100%. But you know what? That's okay. I feel so good about all the wonderful people out there that love us and support us and want to help. And I really don't have words for it. I just feel so grateful Because it's not expected. I never expected people to back us like they did.
No, we really didn't. And for any of you that are listening to this today, tomorrow, because we're recording this on a Tuesday, which is completely out there, this week is the last week to order if you want to get it before Christmas. As a matter of fact, Thursday is pretty much it.
So Thursday would be December 17th.
Yeah, I think December 17th, maybe December 18th if you put 2-day shipping in. But I mean, it's just stuff's taking a few days to get out right now.
Yeah.
It's just, if you want it there by Christmas, you need it there by Christmas.
Absolutely.
If you want to pick up one of those casual ho bags.
Yeah. Anyone that's been doing any traditional shopping online outside of, Amazon, or works in an industry where you deal with shipping, we all know, like, there's going to be delays around the holiday, but this year is exceptional with all the other factors. Like, it's just, yeah. They're behind. They're overloaded.
Speaking of casual toys, though, and kind of getting away from the Christmas thing, I got to give a shout out to Steve in Jacksonville.
Yes. Now, they're the couple that posted about the unique condoms, right?
Yes.
Like, they actually posted a picture of him wearing it.
Yes.
And
on his penis.
I hope I described it accurately.
I think you did. And
it was a very lovely penis.
Well, I'm glad you appreciated it. I actually vacillated on whether I should post that or not on our feed, because I'm like, that's a dick. It is a penis.
That's fair.
And it was a penis of note, but still, we were like, but you know what? We'd never actually shown anybody what the condom looked like. I was like, fuck it. Condoms go on penises. Here we go. So we went ahead and put it out. But, those condoms, I said they were game changers. I talked about how different they made the lifestyle experience for me. Matter of fact, we created an ad, which I will throw on the end of this episode for you guys, for Jay and Angie of Average Swingers.
Yeah, that's true. We did.
And it was just for these condoms. They are 3 times thinner than latex. They are 3 times stronger than latex. They have no smell. They're hypoallergenic. They have a little skirt around the bottom that helps protect your balls from skin-to-skin contact. Not only that, they work with any kind of lubricant, including coconut oil or oil-based lubricants. They are amazing. They're otherworldly.
Yeah.
And they come with a leprechaun.
No, they don't.
Oh.
You said they were made by leprechauns, and I looked it up. That was a lie.
Oh.
No, you're absolutely right. I'm sensitive to smell, so that's something that I generally don't like about latex condoms. But, hey, it was a necessary evil at the time. And I also learned about the certain lubes, like coconut oil, that degrades the actual, structure of the latex, which is something I didn't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, this hits all the marks. Now, are they cheap? No, not necessarily.
No, they're a premium brand.
They're definitely premium, but anyone who's got allergies or you're looking for a vegan option, like, I didn't know that was a thing.
Wait a minute.
I'm not vegan.
Are they edible?
They're not edible, but they're not made from animal or animal byproducts. So
I don't understand the whole vegan thing. So do you have to eat it for it to be vegan?
No, I don't have time to explain this to you.
Oh, okay.
We'll have our listeners write you and get you woke. All right.
All right. Apparently I need wokeness.
Yeah, you do.
Up in my life.
But that's true, because say you're a vegan and you have a latex allergy, typically the lamb skin is the only option. And with it being vegan, it's not an option. So what do they do?
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the non-latex vegan-friendly brands, and I'll tell you what, I opened one of them. Even lambskin smells horrible. And just the thought of using it, I just can't. And I eat meat.
Yeah.
But
it was in a lamb.
It was a lamb.
It was actually part of a lamb. And so that's kind of, I guess, as a guy in the lifestyle, in particular, one of my favorite things is oral. And when you're really in the moment and you're just kind of wrestling around in bed, sometimes you do go back and forth. You kind of alternate between having sex and oral.
Yeah.
And you go down after you've been having sex with somebody with a condom on, and you're like, whoa, I smell Halloween costume pussy. Like,
chemicals.
Delicious. Like,
yeah.
Ew.
You taste like a grocery bag.
So Uniques stop that from happening. You get down there and it's just as springtime fresh as it was before you jumped in bed.
Are you a douche commercial now?
I'm a douche canoe.
Summer's Eve.
That's right.
All right. Wow.
Does your pussy smell like creek water?
We're definitely out of practice because we keep going off in these little rabbit holes. So I'm going to bring it back in. All right. So did we talk about Liberator yet?
No, and I think we should, because we kind of quietly added it to casual toys, and we have a bunch of Liberator here. We've talked about this before. And we'll talk about this in a second, but we recently became more empty nesters than we were before. We now have 3 empty guest rooms in this house. And I think one of those rooms is going to kind of become a Liberator showcase.
Oh, please, 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 please. I'm so excited. I think we're going to go ahead and put the S in there this weekend and test it out and make sure we like where it sits in the room.
Yeah.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
And then, of course, we got the wedge, and we're going to have the flip stages here soon and a few other things. But, there's a lot of really cool things that Liberator does, but Liberator's all about positioning for your bedroom adventures.
Yes, which is really important. I am in this age range where I'm still in really great health. I'm not exactly a spring chicken, but I'm not in, square in the middle age. I'm on the beginnings of middle age. At least that's what I'm telling myself.
No, keep doing that.
But I find I can't hold the positions that we used to do without some help. Right?
Yeah, it's harder to do monkey sex as you get older.
My knees hurt, shit pops and cracks, and it's a little embarrassing. And even if I like the position, like holding it, and I'm like, oh, I got a cramp in my back. Like using the wedge and the pillows and stuff really do help me, and it allows me to hold that position. And I think in a lot of ways, you're not making up for me not holding the position by trying to hold me up too and still do your thing.
Well, yeah, because you do have expectations of me when I'm back there.
I do, and I just made it sound like I'm lazy as fuck in bed.
Yeah, that's kind of how it sounded. But hey, if you too are lazy as fuck in bed, Liberator is the right product for you. They're wedges, they're cushions. They have actually toys that help you masturbate too, because a lot of these toys have spaces to put your favorite vibrator in, so you can fuck the crap out of the pillow while you get fucked.
Hell yeah, that's why I love my wedge, because my wedge has the Hitachi Magic Wand insert. So
true.
I literally can just put it in there, lay across it, and I'm off to town. Little grinding action, and I'm good. 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
I'm done.
She's got a purple face, and she's happy.
Love it.
So anyhow, what do we have going on coming up here soon? We have got, again, full holiday mode. In this house, it looks like Santa Claus threw up in it. A Hallmark store exploded. But all that's a really good thing, because this weekend coming up, we have the Merry Swingmas Party coming up. And it's courtesy of Swinging Down Under and the amazing Kate.
Yeah. This is a virtual event, and it's free, right?
It's free as fuck.
Yeah. So sign up. Again, it's this Saturday. We have an adorable and hilarious surprise.
Yes, we have a special guest coming.
Yes, a very, very special guest.
From a long way away.
Yes. I hear it's cold where they're coming from.
Very cold.
Okay.
And we have a story that's been written about him.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding?
So we're going to have story time.
I love
as we sit around the Christmas tree.
I love. And then we're going to have some giveaways and some fun games and other conversations and just drinking. And
oh, yeah, we're going to get fucked up.
Oh, 100%. It is the holidays.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That's literally. So this is what we do in my family at the holidays, by the way. We get really drunk and then tell each other about ourselves. So
you guys have Festivus.
Essentially,
do you do feats of strength?
Well, we're a little old for feats of strength, so we just really insult the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Just tell each other how much we suck this year.
Yeah.
But we've been doing that long before Seinfeld ever became a thing. Christmas was always a time for telling the other people how much of a failure they were this year.
Oh, okay. I don't understand that at all.
No, your family likes each other and hugs and stuff.
Yeah, hugs and food.
My family's like, I didn't wear my gun tonight. You're going to live.
Oh, well, that's shocking. And moving on. So if you want to sign up for the event, go to our Twitter or Swinging Down Under's Twitter or Podcast Palooza's Twitter page and sign up there. Again, it is totally free. Lots of fun and surprises and drinking will be had. So what else do we have going on?
Oh, we've got virtual Podcast Palooza coming up in January.
That's true. Kate's got another virtual event pre the actual PCAP in May. So that's going to be held in January. That is a pay-for event. I believe it's $30 to join in the fun. And again, we'll be posting that on our Twitter page and in our show notes here for you to go sign up and join.
Yeah, so that's, it's funny. We haven't had a lot of signups for virtual PCAP yet. And I think it has more to do with Christmas right now, because this event is actually crazy good for the price.
Oh.
At $30, you have 11 hosts, a DJ, and a performer, a burlesque performer. So there's going to be like really fun and cool shit to do during virtual PCAP.
Absolutely. And it may be hard to like get your mind wrapped around it with preparing for the holidays, but remember that there's that January lull that happens. And everyone's looking around like, okay, we got through the holidays and we're still kind of sequestered. Now what do we do? That's your thing.
Yeah. And we have an hour on Friday night, and then we also have a mingler on Saturday afternoon with Double Date Nation.
Love it.
Which is Dave and Andy, and we're not sad about that at all.
Not even a little bit.
No, not even a little. So that's going to be exciting. And, of course, we still have rooms available, and this is like we're just kind of getting down the line here, guys. I know we're just kind of all over the place, but we have rooms still available for February with Rachel's Rascals. And, of course, a special announcement for this, which is really exciting.
Oh, my God. This is like the coolest thing ever. So we were lucky enough to meet and befriend some listeners, and they're absolutely amazing, beautiful couple. And surprise, they'll be having their nuptials on this trip in Jamaica with us. I'm so excited. Like, I love weddings, but Hedo weddings. Like, come on.
Does that mean, wait a minute. I thought you said they were going to have sex.
Oh, well, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Isn't that what nuptials are?
Nuptials?
Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
You're the wordsmith. Don't even play with me. And I actually paused to think about that. I was like, is that what that means? Did I use that inappropriately?
No, you're perfect. That's fine. Yeah, we met these guys actually locally here, and they're going to get married at Hedo's. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be in February. If you want more information, feel free to come check us out on casualswinger.com. Travel with us. It's on the left-hand side. Go down to it. You can send us your information, and we'll send you all the information, including rates. Or you can just go straight to www.rachelsrascals.com. That's RACHALS rascals.com. And get information on the trips that way. Now, last but not least, PCAP. PCAP 2021 is coming up in Miami. Make sure to check that out at www.podcast-a-palooza.com and select your room category and get in on the fun. We're going to be there with a lot of these other hosts in person, live, in living color.
Woo-woo, with
for you.
No tops.
That's right. Topless party. Titties out.
I love boobs.
But I'm really looking forward to seeing what this event becomes because, Kate and I were talking last night and we decided we're the worst business people in the lifestyle because we're both losing a shitload of money. But, it's not her fault. I'm just bad at it. She got screwed by COVID, right? Her whole event got shut down. And I can't wait to see what this girl pulls off. I genuinely mean this from the bottom of my heart, guys. This is one of the most just attention to detail-oriented people I've ever met. I would say fastidious, but it's not a negative thing. Like, sure, her attention to detail is just so. It's
unmatched. And in my business, I work with some people that stand up events from a very specific perspective, but a lot of them do the full scope of work. And no one I've ever come across matches her talent and her dedication. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be and become the lifestyle event.
I do too. I really do. So before we move on to this interview with Dermot, and I love this interview. I love the time he spent with us. It's Christmas time. So we made some music for this episode and made sure that everybody, it's what we do at the holidays.
We're festive.
Very festive. The house is festive as fuck. If you had to say something that you're really, truly grateful for in this season at the end of this year in the lifestyle, what would it be? Because this is like the end of our second full year as Casual Swinger.
That's true. Wow. What am I most grateful for this year is, God, this is going to sound cheesy. It's friendships. Yep. The new ones, the ones that have been nurtured from, the year or years previously. I mean, it means a lot, especially as an adult, because I think without the lifestyle, there's no chance that these connections would have been made and not at this level. And it really does warm my heart to know that I have not just people that I want to have sex with, because a lot of these people in the lifestyle that we're friends with were just that I have people that understand me and I can talk to and laugh with and share with and be my most authentic self with. And to me, that's priceless.
Yeah.
Is that cheesy?
No, I don't think it's cheesy at all. I think it's all inclusive. It's very lifestyle of you.
Yeah.
To include all the friendships. I would
what
say. What
about you?
And for me, it's kind of twofold because as Casual Swinger, I'm just grateful for the interaction of the community. I mean, we've made friends all over the world because of this show, and it's just the coolest thing in the world. But if I had to be really succinct and say as Mickey and Mallory, what am I grateful for? I'm just going to put a point on it and say Derek and Jess.
Aww.
Yep, that's probably the most connected I've ever been to another couple when we're in the lifestyle. And they get us on every level.
Yeah, and that came, I don't want to say out of nowhere, but it was very unexpected.
Very.
Extremely unexpected. And man, when it hit hard.
Yeah.
And we went, oh my God, this is that lightning in a bottle. This is what we've been talking about for all these years. Mm-hmm. And it's not just the lightning in a bottle, it's more than that. And yeah, you're right. I was trying to be, a little more broad in my statement, but I have to agree with you.
Yeah, but I mean, and I could list off 30 other names that are, 9.9s out of 10 and just everything that we love about our friends. But sometimes you just meet an 11 and that's what it was. I mean, those guys are awesome and just great friends and invested in our lives and our kids love them. And like, they're vanilla friends that are more. Yeah. But I mean, I'm also so grateful for the Jack and Kissies and the Mitch and Cindy's. I mean, the folks that contribute to this show and make this show better.
Yeah.
Everything I ever wanted in life, you can't fit under a tree. And I figured that out over the last couple of years.
Aw, I love that. And you're right. And the immense amounts of support, and it never fails, having a rough day, not in a good mental space. And we get a note on Cassidy or through the website just saying, hey guys, thanks, love you. And I'm at a loss for words at times, but that feels so good. It really does. Like, thanks for sharing and dedicating your time, because it's precious. Time is very, very precious. And the fact that they spend a minute of it listening to us or participating, like, again, I don't know what to say.
And they take that extra minute to send us a message on, again, SDC, SLS, Cassidy, Doubleday Nation, or send us a direct email. And that, I mean, you know what really bums me out, though? They're always surprised that we write them back.
Really?
And I'm like, why in the world would you be surprised? We're making this for you.
Yeah.
This is what you're the person we do this for. You and you and you and you and all of you. And it's so much fun to hear that you enjoyed it. And that does make our day. And our really response always starts with, thank you for spending your time with us.
Yeah. And I hope that doesn't sound like conceited or like vapid or anything, but it really does. It warms my heart.
Yeah.
And my mama said, always make sure you say thank you.
Yeah. Well, here we are saying thank you at Christmas time. And part of that thank you is traveling around to meet and interview people like Dermot Delucry. That was his first day at the resort. We made sure we were there to interview him. He had 2 weeks of quarantine. We showed up, much like when I went down for the reopening of the resort and talked about it, podcasted about it. We met with Dermot. We did this for you guys, and we hope you enjoy it and get to meet the new boss.
All right, guys, enjoy, and thanks for coming back and hanging in there with us.
We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. You're listening to Casual Swinger.
Welcome to Hedonism.
Well, thank you so much. I hope my accent is okay for everybody. I mean, I appreciate I've come from the other side of the water, so
I think
we speak a little funnily over that side.
I think it's great.
You like that?
Yeah. So introduce yourself and tell everyone where you're from.
Okay, so my name is Dermot Delucry, and I'm a very proud Irishman. But I've been wandering this planet of ours, working in hospitality for over 30 years. And I've done some fascinating stints in Asia. I worked with Mandarin Oriental, and I've worked with intercontinental hotels in Europe, all across continental Europe. I've worked in the States for a short while, but my big passion in life and the love of my life is the Caribbean. And I discovered the Caribbean about maybe 12, 14 years ago when I went to Barbados for the first time. And it was so good I stayed and didn't go home and got a job there. And wow. I loved Barbados, and I was there for a number of years and then had to leave because of circumstances, but I always wanted to get my way back, and it took me nearly 10 years of sort of trying. So if you're out there, never give up. If you've got a dream, just keep plugging. And I eventually got a job back in Turks and Caicos.
Oh.
And so I was there for 3 years and absolutely loved being back in the islands and island life and hanging out. And I went from there to the British Virgin Islands, which is again a very different experience, different part of the Caribbean, and I think people see the Caribbean as like one name, but in fact, the Caribbean there's nearly 40 different countries in the Caribbean, and they're all very different people.
Very.
And, it's a bit like people in different states, they've all got different traits and personalities. And
sure. Culture, food,
it's a real
landscape.
journey. You wander through St. Kitts. People there are very different from the people in St. Lucia and all the rest of it. But they're all lovely, I suppose. That's my point. So
Yeah, you're incredibly well traveled, and so I guess the first question I have for you is, you have a lot of experience as an expat managing people in countries, and almost everyone that you manage is a resident of the country you're in. So there's a bit of a cultural disconnect immediately when you come in as a manager and as a leader. But one of the things that I've heard, because I've asked about you from some of the staff, just to get there, I'm not going to tell you who it is, that was the agreement.
Okay.
But one of the first things that was brought up to me was that you put yourself in a 2-week quarantine, and they said he leads by example. That's the first thing I noticed about him.
Well, that's nice. I mean, it's a nice thing to do, but that was the law, and it would be terrible if I didn't follow the laws of the country I live in.
Yeah.
Jamaicans are hugely proud people. I've worked with Jamaicans before. I would never disrespect Jamaica or its people, and I'm part of a team. That's the bottom line. We are a team, and when we do stuff, we do it together. And if we're successful, we're all successful. If we're not successful, then we're all not successful. But one way or the other, we're in this together, and I believe in being respectful. I believe in having a passion and a pride, and Jamaicans have that in spades, so I'm going to stand with them, man.
Yeah. So is it different managing when you come in as an Irishman, but you're also well traveled, and there's over 400 Jamaicans on staff here. So how do you communicate with them and show them that's what you feel?
I'll let you in a secret.
Okay.
Right? Long before the history of this country, if you go back, the bloodlines in this country are nearly a quarter Irish. There's been Irish people coming here for hundreds of years to work on the plantations and the farms here. And if you look at the place names of the towns and the names of the people here, there's a lot of Irish in this island, man.
Yeah.
So we're not so different. I come from an island that's on the other side of the Atlantic, but we're an island people, just like Jamaicans.
Wow.
I love that.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Yeah. So what are you most excited about? I mean, you've only been here for how long?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And I've just got out of quarantine yesterday.
We're the first people you see.
So I'm like so excited just to be walking and talking.
I mean, obviously, it's going to take. You do have a staff of over 400. It's going to take some time to get to know everyone.
Absolutely.
They're very personable people, but what are your next steps now that you're out of quarantine? Is it getting your sea legs here?
Very much so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a learning exercise. Mm-hmm. It's hugely about walking around, meeting people, talking to them, feeling the place. I'm a big believer in emotional intelligence, and that you kind of touch it, you walk it, you sit in the seat, and you say, oh, so that's how the guest sees it, or you stand alongside the guy pouring coffee and you say, oh, so that's, he really struggles to get coffee. That's why people wait for coffee. It's you have to understand that. And I sitting here don't deliver service. There's people out there, the great staff here that deliver service. So how can I ever sort of hope to have their respect unless I know what
their job is and
their
what
job
they do.
is and how the challenges they face. So that's, for me, there'll be months of learning to come and understanding and finding out where square pegs fit into round holes and vice versa and stuff, and for them to get to know me too, because they're going to have to trust me ultimately. If they don't like me and they take against me, I won't be successful.
That's
and
right,
going back to my early point, it's a team thing. So they have to believe in me ultimately, and they have to believe that I will do a good job, and they'll have to sort of meet me, talk to me, and get to know me so that they trust me to do that good job.
Wonderful.
So some of the early guests that were here during some of your early tours of the resort told me that, and I've been doing research on you for a while.
We're not stalkers.
Oh, shame.
But they told
I was hoping to be stalked.
But they told me a story how you were speaking with an EC and you noticed that there was a squishy board. And that squishy board stopped you in your tracks and you checked it 2 or 3 times.
Sure.
And you made a note of it. Is your attention to detail that strong that even something so small as a squishy board catches your attention? Is that part of your process?
Absolutely, it's part of the process. I mean, you have to be all the time out there looking at stuff. And in fact, I could drive myself mad because I could see a million things that need fixing straight away, and it'll be like, oh, no, too much, stop. But, you know, it's an eye for detail. That's what, and coming from my background in those hotels, it's that eye for detail is what's expected of you. And it's been part of my life for a long time. And I certainly want to try and bring that to the business here. I want things to look right. I want things to look fresh, clean, ship-shape. If something's broken, we need to get it fixed. And if we can't get it fixed, we need to know why we can't get it fixed. But I want, you know, it's also a leading by example thing, right? The day might come when I don't have to step on a squishy board, but somebody else is going to step on that squishy board and say, hey, listen, I need to get this fixed. So that's ultimately what I'd like to get to. But right now, I'm going to have to maybe fix a few squishy boards myself.
So is this the first clothing optional resort you've worked with?
Absolutely.
Yes.
This is a whole new, I'm new to the lifestyle.
Yeah.
I'm new to the whole experience, and it's a big adventure for me too. So
It is. I'm interested to see your new engagements with some of the clientele that comes here, because it's all walks of life. You have
Sure.
nudists, you have lifestyle swinger couples, polyamorous couples. We have a few on site this week, which
Sure.
is very interesting. Glad to see that. I just lost my train of thought. You're gonna have to edit that out.
it's going to be an adventure.
Yes.
You know, that's the thing. Yeah, it's new to me, but I'm not sort of like shocked if you're looking for that. I don't have the hair to stand up, so straight away I'm at a loss there. But you know what? I my whole life, when I've traveled, I've taken people as I found them, and I tell you what I do find. I find a great environment where people are very forgiving, non-judgmental, where people, by and large, are actually very gentle. You know, I've worked in resorts where a hostile tiger mum is coming at you because she's dropped 25 grand on a vacation, and little Johnny's just been sick because he's had 14 strawberry sort of pancakes or something. And believe me, I'll take a couple of swingers any day of the week.
Yeah.
It's a lot better. It's a lot better for you. Yeah.
I've never seen a tiger in Jamaica. So,
Yeah.
so go ahead.
You know, so far it's been great. Will there be problems? Of course there will. I mean, you get all kinds of challenges in this industry, you know. But the people who've been so nice to come up and talk to me and say hello, and when I've chatted to people, the goodwill that people have shown to me, you know, I mean, that's really nice. That's absolutely wonderful. So, you know, after that, I'm a pretty non-judgmental person. As long as you're not harming small dogs, I'm cool.
By the way, we're all dog people here.
Yeah.
Excellent.
There you go. I'm on my third rescue dog.
Nice.
So this one is a Hurricane Irma, my latest one.
Really? That's our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
So you live in Orlando.
Yes.
Okay, well, sorry, we should be doing this on, but we found her 48 hours after Irma went through Turks and Caicos. Her mum had been killed, and her and her two brothers under a palm tree.
I'm sorry.
So we brought them home, and the other two went for adoption, but one came with us and didn't leave our side. So she's currently sitting in Dublin, you know, on her own bed and sort of being spoiled rotten.
It is really hard not to spoil them. And we have a rule of thumb. We don't generally trust people who don't like dogs.
There you go. I'm with that 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard to understand a person that doesn't love dogs.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
that's all right. So tell me a little bit about, you know, you come from 5-star. And the distance between 4-star and 5-star, it really is, it seems like it should be more than a star. It's a tremendous difference.
Yeah, sure.
So you bring that level of attention to detail, you bring that background to this place. I think there are some people that might be concerned that Hedo's going to take a turn maybe that results in it being too expensive because we've upped the level to a point where we're starting to try and compete with places that don't have the magic that Hedo has.
Yeah.
Is it possible to bring 5-star attention to detail and 5-star management
without
the
5-star
prices?
prices?
Yes.
Yes. That's a great question.
Well, I tell you what, here, if you can be assured by this, that was probably one of the very first things that Harry and I spoke about, right? And I suppose part of the aspiration was that Harry wanted a 5-star approach to service without necessarily being a 5-star hotel. So there are no butlers in the pipeline with white gloves and stuff like that. But what there is probably in the pipeline is an attention detail. In my first talk with the team here, I spoke very passionately about exceptional service. And what we want to focus on is, what does that look like in all our areas? Now, exceptional service, you've got really nice staff. That it nearly is a kind of given. But what do you do? What's the extra thing you can do to really surprise somebody, to really make them say, wow, that was really nice? And we've been going around all the departments, talking to everybody and challenging them to say, what can I do that's exceptional, that can make a memory, make somebody go, I love Hedo, but that was just amazing. So the focus will be on that side of what we would call the 5-star experience, an exceptional service, a memorable encounter. What we do something, we do it in a way that you go, that was great. Wow, that was really something, So that's where the focus will be. It won't be particularly on sort of, we're not the Ritz-Carlton and no immediate plans. So,
that's great.
It'll be about that.
I can tell you from firsthand experience, they're listening, because there's 2 or 3 things I've noticed, and the staff has always been wonderful here. But a few events that have transpired over our week that I've identified and gone, wow, that was really much more than above and beyond expectation.
Okay, and that's exactly what I'm looking for, and that's what I want these guys to find, because they are lovely. You're right, and they want to do a good job. My job is more the coach.
Yes.
I kind of nudge in a direction. But let them do it. And like, nobody wants to look at my mug, they want to look at theirs.
I can give you a great example. So last night, it's very full at Gala. Gala is just crazy here around
It's hard to find a table,
And we were walking through, and Davian, who is a waitstaff, about yay tall, and he said, I will find you a table, and I will come find you.
Yes.
Well, in the meantime, we had found some tables outside and put them all together and sat down, and I went and found Davian, and I said, don't worry about it. And he came. Now he was working the Harrison side of the dining room.
Sure.
He went and brought us water and brought us setups and served us the whole time, despite us being nowhere near where he was supposed to be, because he had committed to finding us a table, and since we found our own, he took care of us anyway.
And that's fantastic. That's such a great endorsement, and that's exactly what it's about. If there's more of that, we'll all be happy people.
Yeah, right.
All the people have come here, because that truly is what it's about.
Yeah.
And it's finding ways. Sometimes, like, your job is just to help other people do theirs.
Yeah.
And to find the things that get in the way of them doing their job, and try and clear all that distraction, that noise out of the way, so they can sort of focus in on doing their job. And I want them to be happy. I want them to be motivated. They're worried about the future at the moment.
Sure.
Everybody is, and I'm busy working away in the background, sort of looking at the future and saying, right, I want to make sure that this future is secure for them, because that's what Harry wants too, ultimately. He cares unbelievably passionately. You have no idea the things, that he feels about this place, and that he wants to secure, and I'm sure he wants to leave a legacy in all kinds of ways. And, it's my job to maybe help put that into sort of a practical fashion.
Yeah, that's a great point. Have you ever worked with an owner like Harry?
No, never.
Yeah.
Wow, I've worked
He's
with some
very
owners,
special.
but
Some eccentric bastards, huh?
I said it. I told him last night. It's a bit like being a road manager for the Rolling Stones. You've got a lot to do, but you know who the rock star is.
That is a beautiful analogy.
Yeah.
Harry has long been the point man here.
Sure.
Hedo Harry. You see him here many, many days out of the year. All of the big trips. He is a walking, talking, living mascot for
Absolutely.
Hedonism.
Yeah.
But since you've come on, something I've heard from many people as well, even though it was just before you came on, you went into quarantine, but even last night, it's something I've never seen out of a GM before. You were walking around and talking to people, and you were visible. People were seeing you. People were getting to know you. You were introducing yourself. That's different. Hedo hasn't had that before.
Okay.
Is that part of your approach, and why do you think it matters?
I think this is a people business. Why do people come to Hedo? To meet other people, right? So we have all got to be, if you're not into people, this is the wrong resort. Really.
You fucked up.
Yeah. Hello? So, and I see it as part of the job. It's just about being open, being accessible. And, it's accessible to the guests and accessible to staff as well. Like, they get confidence, like I said earlier, if they see you there beside them. If you walk in their shoes a couple of steps. Yeah. I was up on the roof today for an hour.
No shit.
Had to come down. I was starting to melt.
I thought I was going to say.
Right? But I mean,
you're Irish. You can't stay out there too long.
Absolutely, man. We're not built for this. But, like the roof, we got some leaking problems last week. No. And I was like, so how do we fix this? And the guys are saying, well, I told everybody. And I said, well, let's go on the roof and we'll find out. So let's go and see how we fix this. So...
Were they a little taken aback that you wanted to get on the roof?
He said, you're the first person in 30 years that said
that. I absolutely love that. So one of the things that Mallory and I, one of the ways that we do business is we love doing business with people we know.
Sure.
So I'd love to help our listeners get to know you a little better. What are you passionate about in your personal life? Tell us about you.
Wow, gosh, that's terrible. I'm passionate. I'm married and got a couple of kids who, that's been a big part of my life for a long time, getting them up, and they're now at that stage, they're grown up. I'm passionate about my rescue dog from Turks and Caicos who, gets spoiled rotten. And honestly, this is going to be really boring, but, I put so much into my work that I have so little time, but I'm a secret classical music fan, but I never tell anybody because it sounds a bit geeky.
Not at all.
I love Cuban cigars and really nice red wine. So those are my kind of vices. I love to cook. I consider myself a lost masterpiece to the culinary world. And you know what? That's it.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to tell you I'm not a swinger.
That's okay.
I think it's okay. It's not for
my
everyone.
We
lifestyle.
don't judge you for it.
No, and I don't judge anybody else, but it's just not my thing. But my vices are simple ones. If you can roll it up, age it, bottle it, or pan fry it, I'm there.
Excellent.
That's usually the start of a good swinger date too.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, I might come round.
Yeah,
Just ends differently.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe a little quieter.
Yeah. Okay. No big bang.
Yeah. Right. None whatsoever. That's crazy. So tell me, what do you think's next for Hedo? Well, you guys, and I talked before we started recording about 30, 60, 90. I know that's probably a little premature, but
I can tell you 30, 60 is not as much as you would like because, we're in a very difficult period. I think travel is going to, be in a difficult period for the next while because people's confidence in travel, I think, is going to be a struggle for the next while. So that's going to take a while. I think our thinking is that the second half of next year, I think people are going to come through this, either by vaccine or by sort of changing behavior so that cases come down. And I think there's going to be a huge pent-up demand because people have put off a lot of travel and they want to reward themselves and they want to say, hey, listen, I've come through the time of our era and I'm still here, so it's time to have a party. It's time to have some fun.
Yeah.
So we think the second half of next year is going to be great, and we're planning for that a bit. We're going to sort of look at what we can achieve here. There are some things, and they're really boring stuff that needs fixing, like boilers and wiring and server upgrades and stuff. Which
it's stuff that matters.
It's the really unfun stuff, but it all needs doing. Yeah. And then we've got maybe we can sort of freshen up our food and beverage a little bit. Look at some ideas there to take that forward. And then there's some other stuff kind of bubbling away in the background there as well. So
it sounds like we'll have an update later.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe we'll do an update on this in 6 months.
Well, there you go. To be continued.
So recently, Hedo became, as far as I know, one of the first businesses to do business inside of Hedo.
Sure.
Which is different because Hedo's always, had everything in house.
Sure.
Is that the first of a new generation of a way of doing business for Hedo, or is that a one-off?
I think, well, we also had the Kama Sutra Palace.
Oh,
Yes.
And you know, that was another business within the business as well.
Okay.
And the boat, Philip and his boat as well is another. So we're not against doing something like that. It's very much a case of like, is it a good fit?
Right.
You know, Hedo Weedo is a good fit. It's a lifestyle. And, you know, we're a lifestyle brand and Hedo Weedo is a lifestyle product. So they're a good fit together. And we have to see, like, Hedo Weedo is a baby and it needs to sort of learn how to walk and talk and stuff and grow up a bit. And if it grows up into a good business, then, you know, it'll be a complement to what we do here. I think the future, you know, there is a tremendous, I said to you earlier, like, this is a really strong business. Now, I'm telling you, like, you could rub your crystal ball and in 5 years' time, you could maybe say that, you know, this is such a strong business that you could do another somewhere else and say, wow, that would be interesting. So, but first we've got to be sure we know what it is about. We know how to define it. We know how to sort of, we don't want to lose anything. I don't want anybody getting anyway alarmed. We'd only do it is, you know, if we want to share the love, right? So, but we've got to be sure that we're confident and strong enough about what we're doing and, you know, that we know what our values are. We know what the offer is. We know what we're going out to offer people. So, you know, there's a world of possibilities.
Yeah.
So I guess the last real question I have for you, and this is a bit of a tougher question, especially at this stage. Groups have a huge part in the identity of Hedonism II.
Sure.
They have for a very long time. They accentuate, they expand, they enhance the experience for the guests. There have been movements in the past toward creating other avenues for people to come to hedonism, things like, you know, Club Hedo and things like that.
Sure.
What is your perspective on groups?
My perspective is they are very much part of the business here, right? We, you know, nobody's not loving groups, and I know that I've heard that said before to me, and I just want to be really clear that that is never not going to be the case, that groups aren't a very big part of what we do here. Are there going to be other ways for people to book? Absolutely.
Sure.
Every other business in this business has multiple routes that people book. So it's about what you're at. I realize that loads of people like being part of a group, and it means that group is important to them. That's great. That's absolutely great. All we're about is creating sort of different avenues, because, you know, when we talk about, like, nothing stays the same, and this business and the resort and all the things we do in the resort have to evolve over time. You know, I'm sure there's guests that still probably wonder why we spent all the money on fixing the internet so that it's so good. Well, because, you know what? At this time and juncture where the planet is, having good internet is the kind of important thing.
Because it means podcasters can come and do shit over here.
And so there's going to be new people who are going to want to come and join, and they're going to have different kinds of expectations, and we've got to meet those expectations. But, you know, that groups are a huge fun part. And the week we've been in, look at the fantastic parties we've had.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody in the resort benefits, right? The people in Club Hedo, the individual travellers, they've all basked in all the fun and the entertainment that the groups have provided this week. The staff have had a blast, right? So, you know, why wouldn't we want to keep that as part of what we do? I mean, I think groups, to be honest, are part of what makes Hedo. And, you know, that will never change. I can never see that happen.
As a MC for a group, that's music to my ears. Even though my voice is completely shot at this point. But
you know, you guys helped to make the party. So.
Oh, that's our job.
Yeah.
And we love it.
Great.
We love every second of it.
We do. So I want to thank you for spending some time with us today and helping people get to know you. And I fully expect that we'll probably follow up in 6 months or so and just see how you're doing.
Yeah, we'll be back in February.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if you see me sort of locked in a storeroom somewhere, foaming at the mouth, and
bring you a
sandwich.
Know
it's all gone badly. You know,
we'll slide you snacks under the door.
Yeah, that's it. That would be great.
Yes.
That really would.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dermot, for doing this. And
it's my absolute pleasure. Really nice. Thank you for being so gentle with a virgin.
Oh.
You're not our first.
Yes.
Oh.
All right, folks. Mallory, you want to tell everybody how they can find us?
I can't. I'm laughing too hard. We're Casual Swinger everywhere. That's casualswinger.com. You can find us on Apple, iTunes. I can't even think now. Spotify, Stitcher, you name it.
Yeah. Listen to another episode, figure it out. All right, folks. You've been listening to Casual Swinger.
Welcome back to Casual Swinger. My name's Mickey. I'm trying to get out of a bad mood.
Hi, Mickey. I got something for you. Oh, by the way, I'm Mallory. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
I like your boobs.
Thanks. I grew them myself from scratch. Original manufacturer equipment. Thank you very much.
You didn't get them from your mama.
No, I didn't. Please
Just
don't make
saying.
fun of my mom's boobs, please.
Okay.
Anyway.
Hey, let's do a cocktail corner since we haven't done one in a while and it's Christmas time and everybody's going to be hanging out with family and needs to get drunk if their family's like mine.
Yes, and especially around the holidays, as much as I love crafting cocktails, I don't like taking a lot of time and making it like a science experiment because sometimes you just need to be a little down and dirty about it.
Well, and we buy good booze and I don't like wasting it by making a shitty cocktail.
That's true. That's true. I like it when the cocktail highlights the booze, and something we drink a lot of is whiskey and bourbon in this house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking a spin, like a Christmas spin on an old-fashioned.
Okay.
So what do you think of a cranberry old-fashioned?
First thought is,
No, it's delicious.
Okay.
I think we made them last Christmas
all
or
right,
the Christmas
let's hear it.
before.
How do you make this thing?
So the one thing you'll have to do is prep the Cranberry Simple Syrup. That's kind of like the key ingredient that gives it its little spin. So you're actually going to get some fresh cranberries. And what you're going to do is you're going to boil some water. Let me look and see. I made a note. It's 2 cups of water and 1 cup of sugar. So for simple syrup, it's a 2-to-1 ratio.
Okay.
And then you're going to add a cup of fresh cranberries. Now you can use frozen, but it's kind of you may have to level down the water a little bit because the frozen cranberries actually have a little more water than the fresh ones do.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to boil that for about 4 to 5 minutes. Make sure all the sugar's dissolved. Then you're going to strain it. It'll be a nice, pretty pink color. And I use like the little mesh strainer like I do to get like chicken fat and whatever off the top of like, I don't know, when I boil soup. You can use cheesecloth, but it'll trap some of those sugars. So if you're...
And you want those in there.
And you want some of those. Yeah, you want all of that in there. But in a pinch, it'll still work. So you strain that and let it cool. And then you really make a standard old-fashioned. So you're going to want some quality bourbon. And I recommend bourbon versus rye since we're using a flavored simple syrup. The rye will kind of diminish that cranberry flavor. So it's 3 ounces of quality bourbon, 1 ounce of the simple syrup that you made, and 3 shakes of the Angostura bitters. Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you garnish with an orange peel. So you'll take the glass, put ice, and you stir together the first 3 ingredients. And if you use the orange peel, I like orange in mine. And what I do is I twist it so it kind of releases the oils. Mm-hmm. And then I set it on top of the bourbon. I don't necessarily mix it in because the oils will drip into the alcohol. And you'll get just a hint of it as you sip. And you can even like rim the glass with it. Yeah. And then you can also like garnish with like a little stick with some cranberries and fresh rosemary. And bam. You're festive as fuck.
Festive as...
And a little tipsy.
And since it's an old-fashioned, you get a hand job after.
Really? Well, I guess I can two-fisted. I got a drink in one hand. I got a free one.
That's awesome. Well, guys, this has been a weird, fun Christmas episode where we introduced the new boss for Hedonism II. Hedonism's new boss is Dermot Delucry. We hope you enjoyed talking to him or hearing us talk to him anyway.
Yeah, I did.
I don't know. I really enjoyed being in his office and spending time with him, and I hope everybody else does too. And if you happen to get your ass down to Hedonism in 2021, make sure to go say hi. He wants you to. He wants you to come up and introduce yourself. He wants to hear your story.
Yeah, he wants to get to know you.
Yeah, so pretty neat stuff. We love it. Mallory, why don't you tell everybody where to find us? We'll get out of here and let everybody hear that fun ad we did for Unique Condoms here on the end of the episode.
Awesome. Hey, thanks you guys again for your patience and supporting us. We are Casual Swinger everywhere. You can find us at casualswinger.com. Message us podcast at Casual Swinger if you have any questions. You can also give us a review on iTunes if you like. And you can also locate us on the social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I think that's it. and the dating sites Double Date Nation, Cassidy, SLS, SDC, and Quiver.
Yeah, you are a little rusty.
I am.
That's all right. You still look cute.
Thanks.
All right, everybody. Merry Christmas to your family from ours. You've been listening to Casual Swinger. All right, Mallory, seriously, I am done with condoms.
Hold on there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's your issue with condoms?
Well, they stink. I can't feel anything.
Okay.
And I always break the damn things.
Ugh. Okay, so apparently you haven't been listening lately. Have you not heard of unique condoms?
Clearly not.
Okay, this is going to be revolutionary for you. As swingers, this is a game changer. These things are 3 times stronger, 3 times thinner than traditional latex condoms. They're vegan friendly, they don't smell, and you can use any lube with them without degrading the product.
Are they made by leprechauns and they're magical?
They are magical, but I don't believe they're made by leprechauns.
Holy moly. So a condom where I can actually feel my partner. Can I feel my partner's body heat?
Yes, you can.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so what's really neat about these is they adhere right to your skin with your body heat. And they're cute. They have a little skirt.
Wow. What's the skirt for?
So the skirt's actually to protect skin-to-skin contact, unlike latex condoms.
See, what you're saying is these are Mallory approved.
Yes, they're definitely Mallory approved, and I think they're Mickey approved too.
I think they will be. Where can I find them?
So the unique condoms are only sold on casualtoys.com. So come visit us and check them out, pick your size, and have some fun.
I think that's exactly what we're going to go do.
Yay.